The dream run in Cincinnati had to end sometime. After avenging her heartbreaking loss to Elena Gabriela Ruse and stunning the tennis world with her incredible resurgence, Alex Eala finally met one of the toughest challenges of her Cincinnati campaign. Standing across the net was Amanda Anisimova, the former world number 3, a two-time Grand Slam finalist, and one of the most dangerous players on the WTA Tour. The American powerhouse had been tearing through the Cincinnati draw with ruthless efficiency, coming off a dominant 6-2, 6-3 victory over Zeynep Sonmez, and she was ready for the Filipina sensation. For Eala, this was a completely different kind of challenge. This wasn't about revenge or settling an old score. This was about proving that she belonged among the elite of women's tennis. It was about adding another top 10 victory to her growing collection and showing that her remarkable momentum could continue against one of the world's best players. But this time, it wasn't meant to be. The match became a brutal reality check, a reminder that at the highest level of tennis, there are no guarantees, and that the journey toward greatness is filled with setbacks, difficult lessons, and heartbreaking moments. But what happened after the defeat may have been even more powerful than the result itself. Alex Eala finally broke her silence and revealed what she believed went wrong. Her reaction stunned fans around the world, not because she was angry or bitter, but because of the grace, honesty, and remarkable perspective she showed after the loss. Welcome back to Ace Rally Brief. This is the story of Alex Eala's heartbreaking defeat to Amanda Anisimova and why her reaction has left the tennis world talking. To understand the magnitude of this loss, we first have to understand the incredible journey that brought Alex to this moment. Just weeks earlier, Eala had captured her first WTA Tour singles title at the Mubadala DC Open in Washington. Her victory was nothing short of spectacular as she defeated a series of elite opponents, including Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Alina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and finally world number 3 Jessica Pegula in the final. She had already proven that she could compete with and defeat some of the biggest names in tennis. Then came Toronto, where Alex Eala arrived at the National Bank Open, a prestigious WTA 1000 event, carrying incredible momentum, growing confidence, and the attention of an entire tennis world eager to see what she would do next. Eala continued her impressive run by reaching the round of 16, where her 7-match winning streak finally came to an end against Olympic champion Belinda Bencic. But even in defeat, she had already proven her worth and shown that she could compete with the very best players in the world. Now, she arrived in Cincinnati as the number 17 seed at the WTA 1000 event, the highest seeding of her career at this level. After receiving a first-round bye, Eala had extra time to prepare for her opening match, and in the second round, she faced Elena Gabriela Ruse, the same player who had crushed her US Open qualifying dreams 2 years earlier. This time, however, the story was completely different. The revenge was swift and dominant. Ruse was forced to retire with a foot injury while trailing 6-1, 3-0, but by that point, Eala had already taken complete control of the match. She had finally put the painful memories of that 2024 US Open qualifying loss behind her and announced her arrival in Cincinnati in emphatic fashion. The victory pushed Eala to a career-high ranking of world number 18, and once again, she was riding a wave of momentum. But her next challenge would be one of the toughest yet. Standing in her way was Amanda Anisimova, the world number 10 and 9th seed in Cincinnati. Anisimova, who had reached a career-high ranking of world number 3 and was a 2-time Grand Slam finalist, was a formidable opponent, powerful, aggressive, and dangerous from every part of the court. Eala had already proven that she could defeat top 10 players, entering the match with an impressive record against elite opposition, including a remarkable run of consecutive victories. But Anisimova was different. She was in excellent form, full of confidence, and completely ready for the challenge. "I haven't played her before," Anisimova said ahead of the match. "She's been having such an incredible season, an incredible year, a very great player with a lot of fans, so I'm really looking forward to that." The stage was set, the fans were ready, and the battle was about to begin. When Alex Eala stepped onto the court at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, the atmosphere was electric. Thousands of Filipino fans packed the stands, waving Philippine flags and chanting her name. It was the same incredible support that had followed her from Toronto to Cincinnati, with the Alex Eala effect in full force once again. But Amanda Anisimova was not intimidated. She knew exactly what kind of atmosphere she was walking into and was prepared to embrace it. "I love a packed stadium and I love a good atmosphere," she said. "I'm sure it will be a great match, even though they will probably be rooting more for her, but I don't mind it, and I'll try to thrive off the energy." From the very first point, the match became a battle. Eala came out fighting, playing aggressively and with confidence. She had beaten top 10 players before, and she believed she could do it again. But Amanda Anisimova was relentless. Her power was overwhelming, her aggression never stopped, and Alex Eala was about to face one of the toughest tests of her Cincinnati campaign. Her serves were almost impossible to return, while her ground strokes were powerful, precise, and punishing. Alex Eala, who had been dominating opponents with her tricky left-handed serve and aggressive baseline game, suddenly found herself under constant pressure and pushed onto the back foot. The scoreboard reflected the reality of the match as Amanda Anisimova claimed victory in straight sets, bringing Eala's dream run in Cincinnati to a painful end. For Alex, it was a harsh reality check. She had been riding an incredible wave of momentum, winning her first WTA title, reaching new career highs, and proving that she could compete with some of the best players in the world. But at the highest level of tennis, there are no guarantees, and Anisimova showed exactly how quickly momentum can change when you face an opponent playing at an elite level. When the final point was played, the stadium fell silent. The Filipino fans who had been chanting Eala's name just moments earlier sat in stunned disbelief. The dream run was over, and her Cincinnati journey had come to an end. But what happened next was what truly caught everyone's attention. Alex Eala didn't make excuses. She didn't blame the schedule, complain about the atmosphere, or point fingers at anyone else. Instead, she accepted the defeat with remarkable grace. In her post-match reaction, Eala was honest about what went wrong. She acknowledged her opponent's strengths, reflected on her own performance, and recognized the areas where she needed to improve. But she refused to dwell on the disappointment. Instead, she focused on the lessons she could take from the defeat. Earlier in the tournament, Eala had explained that what mattered most to her was the level she brought onto the court. Her philosophy was simple: even when the result doesn't go your way, a strong performance can still provide something valuable to build on. That mindset was once again on display after her loss to Anisimova. Eala didn't view the defeat as the end of her journey or as a failure. She saw it as a learning experience and another important step in her development. While emotions can often run high after a difficult loss, Eala remained calm, composed, and focused on moving forward. That mentality is one of the qualities that makes her rise so impressive. She understands that setbacks are part of the process and that every defeat can become an opportunity to grow. In her reflections after the match, it became clear that the loss wasn't simply about Amanda Anisimova's power or Alex Eala's own mistakes. It was a combination of factors that created an extremely difficult challenge. At the center of it all was Anisimova's explosive style of tennis. Her game is built on raw power, aggressive shot-making, and the ability to take time away from her opponents, creating a relentless pressure that can make it difficult for even the best players to settle into their rhythm. Her serves were thunderous, her ground strokes were heavy and precise, and she gave her opponents almost no time to think or breathe. Against a player like Alex Eala, who relies on craft, variety, movement, and intelligent shot selection, Amanda Anisimova's relentless power could be overwhelming. Eala's tricky left-handed serves, which had troubled several elite opponents, were neutralized by Anisimova's aggressive returns. The American refused to give Alex any rhythm, constantly taking time away from her and forcing her to play under pressure. Then there was the physical challenge. Eala had been competing at a relentless pace, winning her first WTA title in Washington, reaching the round of 16 in Toronto, and then continuing her run in Cincinnati. The schedule had been demanding, and the physical toll of competing week after week was significant. But Alex refused to make excuses. After her victory over Elena Gabriela Ruse, she emphasized the importance of health and recovery, showing that she understood how important it was to manage her body during such an intense stretch of the season. There was also the enormous mental pressure that comes with becoming one of the fastest rising stars in women's tennis. Every match becomes a test, every opponent wants to stop your momentum, and the expectations and scrutiny continue to grow. Eala had handled that pressure remarkably well, embracing the attention and welcoming the incredible support of Filipino fans around the world. She had even spoken about how powerful it was to see inspiration affect other people. But even the strongest minds face difficult moments, and against Anisimova, the pressure was immense. The stage was huge, the opponent was elite, and the stakes were high. Experience was another important factor. Anisimova was a two-time Grand Slam finalist and had already competed on some of the biggest stages in tennis. She understood the intensity of high-pressure matches and knew what it took to perform at the highest level. Eala, meanwhile, was still learning, still developing, and still gaining experience against the world's elite. The experience gap may have been evident, but Alex had no reason to be discouraged. She sees every match as an opportunity to learn and every defeat as a chance to grow, and that mindset could become one of her greatest strengths. Welcome back to the Ace Rally Brief Analysis. We have seen the match, we have heard the reaction, and now comes the most important question. What does Alex Eala's loss to Amanda Anisimova really mean for her future? The truth is that every great champion experiences setbacks. Roger Federer, Serena Williams, and Novak Djokovic all suffered difficult and unexpected defeats during their careers. Greatness is not about never losing, it is about how you respond when you do. And Eala's response to this loss has shown exactly why so many people believe she has a special future ahead of her. She did not make excuses, blame anyone else, or allow one defeat to define her journey. Instead, she accepted the result, reflected on the experience, and looked ahead. That is the mentality of a player determined to improve. Eala has now faced one of the most dangerous players on the WTA Tour, experienced another major test against elite opposition, and seen firsthand the level required to compete consistently at the very top. As Eala herself has explained, what matters most is the level she brings onto the court. She understands that the result is not the only measure of success. Every victory and every painful defeat is part of a much bigger journey. And for Alex Eala, that journey is still only beginning. The lessons are what truly count. After Cincinnati, Alex Eala will turn her attention to the US Open, the final Grand Slam of the season. She made her US Open main draw debut last year and became the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam main draw match, and now she will be looking to build on that momentum. Her loss to Amanda Anisimova will not define her, stop her, or derail her journey. If anything, it will motivate her, fuel her, and make her stronger. Revenge has been one of the defining themes of Eala's 2026 season, as she has systematically avenged losses against players who once stood in her way, and Anisimova is now on that list. When Eala faces her again, she will be ready. She will have learned from this defeat, adapted her game, and returned as a different player. For Alex Eala, this loss is not the end, it is the beginning of another chapter. It is another step in a remarkable journey that has already inspired millions and helped change the sport. And she is only getting started. To the Filipino fans, your support has been incredible. From Toronto to Cincinnati, you have shown up in huge numbers, bringing your energy, passion, and pride every step of the way. Keep cheering. Keep believing. Your hero is on a mission, and that mission is far from over. The US Open is waiting. The revenge tour continues, and Alex Eala will be back. This time, she won't just be a star, she'll be chasing the title. This is the Ace Rally Brief Analysis. We'll see you next time.